So Tyler, do you know what's special about this episode?
I do now that we've done this episode 4 times.
3 times, let's not be dramatic. This is time 3.
Okay, 3rd time's the charm.
Okay, so what's special about this episode?
So this is the first movie recommended by someone on YouTube, or on Twitter.
I thought you said you knew.
I do know.
Yes, Venus Denefy
yes.
recommended this movie because a few weeks back, apparently, Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux.
Not to be confused with Justin Trudeau, which is inside joke from last video.
Yeah, inside joke from the uncut version, or I guess already cut version, since it's disappeared and gone by the wayside thanks to Audacity. But yes, Justin Theroux is not the Prime Minister of Canada.
No,
nope.
Thank you.
Nope. But they split up, and so I had posted asking which Jennifer Aniston movie we should do to that event, and this is the one they picked, which I think is very appropriate for us.
Hopefully not that appropriate.
You never know.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome. Okay, so the movie we're doing is The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn.
Who is a horrible ass for the entirety of the movie.
Okay, which starts off where? Because he was terrible at the beginning.
Oh, he was terrible for the whole movie. It starts off at Wrigley Field.
Right.
They're watching a Chicago Cubs White Sox baseball game, which is already lost me because I hate baseball. But
it's so sad for you. You must live a really boring, sad life.
I just like football.
You can like other sports in addition to football.
Regardless. So they're watching baseball, and
he's watching with his best friend who is a White Sox fan, and I believe he's a Cubs fan.
Yes, which is just... No.
No what?
You can't be friends with those people.
And
I don't mean White Sox, I mean fans of rival teams. Let's get that clear. Like,
okay, so to speak your language, you're saying that you could not be friends with a Jets fan?
Oh, God, no.
At all?
Not really.
But New York is like right there. What are you going to do if somebody's...
Yes, but they're the Jets.
I mean, I hate the Jets, and I have that passion with you, but I don't hate people that like the Jets. I just feel sorry for them.
Overwhelmingly, I hate the people that root for the Jets.
Don't you just feel sorry for them because they never win?
No, I take joy in their suffering, actually.
You might want to get that checked out.
I'm a horrible person, I know.
Yeah, okay, well, I mean...
It's established. Anyway, regardless. So, he hits on her by offering her a hot dog and basically making her eat a hot dog.
So basically jamming a hot dog down her throat.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, pun's not lost on me.
No. I don't know if it's a pun, I think it's more of a metaphor, but sure.
Whatever, mister, I have to be exactly accurate with everything I say.
Anyway, I would have told him to go to hell. Because, no, I'm not going to eat a hot dog for some strange person I meet for the first time.
Why? You don't like hot dogs?
Well, I've never eaten a hot dog, so I wouldn't know, but no.
Why are you talking like that?
Talking like what?
I've never eaten a hot dog, so I wouldn't know.
I've never eaten a hot dog, so I wouldn't know.
Why have you never eaten a hot dog?
I just haven't eaten one, ever.
So when you go to a cookout and they say hamburger hot dog, it's hamburger 100% of the time?
Yes. Always.
You've never been like, I'm going to change it up a little and try a hot dog?
No, never.
And what is your
I just don't like hot dogs, I don't know.
So sausage, kielbasa?
Oh, I can eat bratwurst sausage, yeah, it's fine. Just not a hot dog.
They're essentially the same thing, right? So
basically. But
oh, okay.
It helps me win games of Never Have I Ever, because I can say I've never eaten a hot dog, and everyone has eaten a hot dog.
Okay, I can't process these things. I don't actually like hot dogs either. I just like the popping noise they make when you bite into them.
But you've had a hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, because when I'm hungry and that's what's available, I'm going to eat it.
And I'd go hungry.
Well, you have time to go before you go hungry, so. And flipping me off on a podcast where nobody can see you is probably not the best course of action.
Not the point of the flipping of you off. The flipping you off is for me.
I'm glad it was a nice catharsis for you.
So then he stalks her and follows her out of the stadium and forces her into a date.
And somehow ends up dating her, essentially for a few years from what we can assume.
And didn't serve any prison time, so far as I can tell.
I just don't get it. Like, I mean, I feel like that should have been red flag number 1, is like, this man is forcing you to eat a hot dog and on a date while you're already on a date. Probably not your best choice.
Run. Just run.
Right.
So they do the intro with all the fake photographs, which must have taken forever because they're just used for the intro of the movie, and it's pictures of their life together
Right, as a couple.
dating.
So there's different locations, different outfits, different everything.
Times of day, different
People involved.
Yes.
But I mean, 90s movies did that a lot. But they usually use like childhood photos from what I remember.
I can't imagine why they would take the time to do that, but sure. I mean, that was...
Authenticity?
Sure.
Sure.
I don't know, it just must have taken forever.
It must have.
So next scene, it's at the art gallery with the terrifying sculpture with just awful modern art.
The goblin-looking dude?
Oh yes, with the faucet where his
Phallus?
genitals would be. Yes.
Yeah.
It was...
I wonder if it's meant to mean something.
I don't know. It was really off-putting.
Yeah, it could have meant something.
But
But that kind of bend in a... I'm not sure how that would work. But anyway, so yes, most modern art is pretty awful, so we can agree on that at least.
Yes, no, modern art is... A lot of it is just... looks slapdash and thrown together and lazy in terms of just, let's pile garbage together, it's art. Or just that creepy looking goblin. Yeah, that's art. No.
No, I mean, I have no interest in most art, so I can't really say much. I don't really understand it. I guess it's an abstract thing that I can't get my head around. But regardless, that's where she was, and she was, her coworker was Justin Long, who is one of my man crushes for forever, so I love him.
Which doesn't make sense, because he does not fit your type in any category.
He's just wonderful of a person. What? I don't have a type. Look at you.
You have a type.
Are you it?
I'm a majority of it.
Oh, okay. So what is the type that we speak of that Justin Long does not fit because he's got long hair?
Tall.
He's not tall? I don't know how tall he is.
Large.
Okay, alright, he's not large.
Well, I don't have a beard or tattoos.
See? So you can't say anything about me not fitting within one type. I like all men. It's a fact. Anyway, so...
But she's talking to fake Tom Brady. There's a gentleman that is acting in this movie that looks strikingly like Tom Brady.
I don't see it. What makes him look like Tom Brady?
I don't know what it is. He looks like Tom Brady. He reminds me of Tom Brady.
It's got to be the height and the build.
And probably the outfit, because he looks like Tom Brady. Tom Brady has a very put together public persona.
Uh-huh. That's not what you said before.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
I thought you said it was the eyebrows.
It probably is the eyebrows too. The facial features are very similar to Tom Brady as well.
It's because you spent how much time looking at those eyebrows?
Well, I watch all the football games.
And you watch probably all the press conferences, and I'm sure you spend some time alone
all
looking
right.
at his photos.
No, let's not make it creepy. Thank you, though.
Well, I mean, the whole movie, you're like,
no.
That guy's Tom Brady. He's Tom Brady.
He looks like Tom Brady, yes.
You were so excited.
Well, Tom Brady is awesome.
I realize, but your affinity for him is a little off-putting.
You gotta let it go.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
So anyway, goes back. He gets home from work. She's been cooking all day after going to work. He gets down on the couch and starts watching baseball. And she wants to kill him right away because he's being lazy. Because
she asked him to do a simple task, bring home 12 lemons, and he brought home 3. That is not 12. That is not even close to 12.
I understand that, but they weren't even for anything specific other than to sit there on the table.
That wasn't the point. She wanted lemons. You bring home lemons. If you say you're going to bring home the lemons she asked for, bring home the lemons she asked for.
Bring home lemons for nothing else, to not have to hear about it forever.
The fact that you say that and with a straight face makes me want to just punch you really badly.
It's primarily to make you happy, but there's also it's really not worth the effort of getting into an argument over 12 lemons.
I really hate you for this, but it's fine. So you disagree that she should have show lemons, but
it's stupid.
But you agree that he should have brought them home.
Oh God, it's the easiest thing in the world to not screw that up.
Right.
You just have to count to 12.
And he should have cared a little bit more when she brought it up, and not been like, oh, well, you can put him in a little glass and it'll be a smaller centerpiece.
No, you at least act apologetic, even if you're not really all that sorry.
The things you're saying out loud right now really make me question why we're together.
No, it's just in terms of that category. I mean, it's a stupid, simple thing, but you at least have to keep up appearances in that regard. But really, I would feel bad. I really would. And now I'm never going to hear the end of this.
The name of the podcast is going to be The Breakup in Real Life.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so they get into a whole big fight about the lemons because he tells her the dumbest things. He tells her that she is Michelangelo and painting the 16th chapel.
Okay, but that's not about the lemons. That's a
That's
broader
about
argument about
before the dinner.
Right, that he hasn't done anything, including buy the lemons.
He hasn't cleaned. He hasn't brought the lemons. He hasn't showered.
He's essentially sitting on the couch waiting for her to get everything done, which she's already been doing for hours.
Yes, which understandably makes her a little irate. But yes, I would. She then corrects him for saying 16th and 16.
Which is wonderful, because every man needs to be corrected when they're being a pompous jerk.
That's not true.
Absolutely true.
No, it's not true. Just let it go.
I'm trying to let it go, but I'm talking to you.
Deep breaths.
Oh, are we going to say calm down?
I would never say calm down. That's the stupidest thing you can ever possibly say.
Yeah, well, in second to what he calls her.
Well, he says crazy after the hour. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So their family comes over for dinner, and he brings up an old argument about a pool table.
In front of everybody.
In front of their whole family.
Knowing what she felt about this pool table.
Yes. I was thinking that I know what his thought process was. His thought process was, well, I want a little bit of moral support from my friends and my family, and she's probably going to be a little bit more polite in front of company.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Not how it all works. No, it devolved into a screaming match, and really you've just subjected your dinner guests to a horrible experience, just sitting there uncomfortably sipping water and going, I wish I was anywhere, not here.
Well, and is a pool table really worth fighting over like that? I mean, I just feel like it's a pool table. She said that you can have it when you guys get a bigger place, so relax about it and chill out.
Or just go to a pool hall.
Well, right. It doesn't need to be like this big thing that everybody has to be involved in.
I could probably find 20 bars that have a pool table that I could use.
Oh, and I'm sure he could too. He went to the bar all the time.
Right. And he lives in Chicago. There has to be a pool table in Chicago that he could use.
Right. So that was an obnoxious thing to start an argument over.
Yes. Anyway, they get into an argument, and the brother breaks out into impromptu a cappella because God only knows why.
Because he's I can't remember the name of the group
Tone Rangers.
for the life of me. I keep wanting to say the Tenor Rangers. The Tone Rangers.
For Lone Ranger.
I get that. So, Tone Rangers, which is apparently an actual a cappella group in Washington, D.C., which I thought was kind of cool.
I hadn't known that before this podcast the first 4 times.
Some things are just ingrained in my mind now. So, he was pretty awful being the only person at the table that didn't participate.
Oh, God, no. It's just, I can immediately relate and sympathize with not wanting to break out into spontaneous song.
Oh, I can absolutely relate. Not wanting to, but I mean, you do what you gotta do.
No.
It's
no one wants to hear me
your
sing.
girlfriend's family.
No one wants to hear me sing.
I mean, amen to that. No one does. But
yes,
regardless, you should at least,
try. At least open your
humor
mouth
them.
and pretend to sing.
Yeah. Humor them. Okay, nobody can see the movements your mouth is making.
That's the point.
Yeah, well, okay. So that just made me feel very uncomfortable on the insides, but okay.
Then her brother, who is his name is John Michael Higgins, the hardest working man in Hollywood because he's in everything. Instantly, you would recognize his face and his voice.
So the man with the most unrecognizable name, but the most recognizable face.
Oh, he's just you know instantly who we're talking about if you look up the name. Because he's always in every movie where he's a support character. He's like the assistant principal or just a friend or...
Well, I recognized his face immediately,
right.
but I had no clue what his name was. Not even like an inkling.
I didn't either.
When you told me it, I was like, that just sounds like Joe Schmo to me.
Well, I had to look it up on IMDb because I needed to know. Because he's in everything.
It's like Frank's Red Hot. Put that shit on everything.
Basically. His agent must be very busy. So, why would I want to do the dishes? After they go home, they get into a second fight, and it just devolves from there. And this is the seminal fight where they finally just start going on their separate paths to the eventual breakup for the movie, because that's the name of the movie, and that's what happens through the course of the movie. This argument is what
they broke up here.
This is the point where it all starts. After the dinner.
Let's clarify. They broke up here,
yes,
and then they attempt to get back together for the rest of the movie. This isn't
they
a
don't
long...
really try to attempt to get back together because they're horrible at talking to each other.
Okay, but regardless, okay, so this is where they break up.
Yes. So they get into a fight, and she wants to do the dishes instead of just relaxing after having people over, which I understand can be taxing. You don't want to have people in your house and then have to do things right afterwards.
Right, I understand that, but she wanted him to help her out because he hadn't helped her out the whole day. She did everything herself.
He should have jumped straight up and been like, "No, darling, you sit down and I'll do all of the dishes because you did everything to start the day." That would have been the smart play.
Right, but you said that you understood what I want you to want to do the dishes didn't make sense to you. That you felt that you're not going to want to do the dishes because it's a chore.
Never say I want you to want to do the dishes because it just doesn't make sense.
It does make sense.
No, you have to say I want you to help me do the dishes because the help you is the thing that we're supposed to target or key in on.
No, but what she was upset about was he was being a whiny little brat when he agreed to finally do it. She wanted him to be happy when he did it. He, happily helping, not being like he's a freaking martyr.
Well, I understand that point of it, but at the same time, no one wants to do dishes. No one wants to do chores.
Well, she doesn't want to do the dishes, but she wants him to be upbeat about it because the dishes have to be done. So want to do them so they can get done together.
Well, they could also be done at a later time.
Oh, no. No. If she wants to get the dishes done after everything she did for him...
she has every right to do whatever she wants for the rest of the evening. She could go do a long hot bubble bath and just leave him to do everything.
I'm glad that you think that way because let me tell you, you start a fight with me in front of my whole family after me having to do everything myself, you'll be doing it by yourself.
And sleeping on the couch.
Yes, you will. I'm glad that we understand each other.
He also uses the C word, crazy, which is second only to...
Calm down, which you referenced earlier.
Calm down, yes.
Although, there's other C words that we could add in.
We're not going to use those for the sanctity of the podcast.
Okay, well,
yes.
I'm sure everybody can infer.
No, if you want someone to single-handedly chew off your face, use calm down.
I'm going to try this on you and see if it works because you seem very passionate about that.
No, I'm fairly even-keeled and level-headed for the most part.
But I haven't seen you completely irate yet, so I mean, it is a goal in life.
And she brings up a wonderfully interesting point about flowers. When he says that you said you never even wanted flowers, you said you don't like flowers on our first date. And she says every girl likes flowers.
Okay, which is valid.
No, it's infuriating. We paused the movie at this point, and this is the fourth time we're having this conversation. But you said that also. You said flowers are a stupid waste of money. And that's not even what... I didn't ask, do you like flowers? I asked you what your favorite flower was.
But, okay, so your timing of asking me was around Christmas, and
I was going to get you flowers in addition to other things.
Okay, but the clarification wasn't there. And my fear was that I was going to get flowers in place of a Christmas gift, which just is not okay. And also, I don't want to be that girl that has her boyfriend come home on a Monday night with flowers, and I'm like, what did he do? Did he cheat on me? Is something bad happening? Did he buy a new car?
You just cheated yourself out of something unexpectedly nice.
Well, I also avoided undue stress from having to worry about what the flowers meant. And I also avoided you having to have that uncomfortable conversation with the florist of what you did. Look at that. I solved so many problems.
No, when I just say I'm just buying my girlfriend flowers.
Nobody would believe that. Unless it was Valentine's Day, then he would be like, man, what'd you do? And you say roses, he'd be like, oh man, it was a big one, huh?
But I just say nothing. I'm just buying her flowers for the sake of buying her flowers.
And then he would start questioning, if you were hanging out with Tom Brady a little too often.
You gotta let that go. You really do. It's becoming an unnatural fixation on your part.
I can't help it.
So yeah. Then they go about their day. He leaves and goes out drinking with his friends.
Which was dumb. You don't leave during an argument like that. You stay, especially when you know you're the one at fault.
Well, he can't admit to himself that he's at fault. Then he buys himself a pool table. and puts it in the house.
Yeah, which was, that was just basically saying, screw you, is what that was.
It was the nuclear option. He broke out and pushed the button that we hope President Trump doesn't push because he's stupid.
You had to say that?
What?
This is not a political podcast.
I don't want it to be a political... Okay, I apologize.
Okay, no, we're not talking politics.
It was the nuclear option, and he knew it was the nuclear option. And then she gets him kicked off the bowling team, which is petty.
Well, in her defense, she was hoping that was going to make him feel ousted and then want her back so that he could be part of the group. But she obviously doesn't understand men very well and didn't quite understand that hitting his ego that way wasn't the way to go.
No, she reads men much poorer than she reads women. When she was handling her boss was eating out of the palm of her hand, and then she just couldn't figure out.
I like to believe that she was just kind of thrown off by the whole breakup and didn't really know what to do, but bringing the men in constantly and all of this stuff was probably not the best option.
Well, the bowling scene just proved that men are whipped and women think for themselves, because all of her friends and all of their partners voted him off the team. And then when he tried to kick somebody out of game night, no one backed him up.
The people that kicked him off, the couple that booted him off of the bowling team, he tried. Right. Yeah. Well, but you didn't need a movie to prove that to you.
Sadly, no.
Well, okay. So, this just solidified what you already knew, but yes, that's very true.
So she goes out with two guys. One of them was super creepy.
You mean boring finance man?
The guy that was an accountant, yes.
Right, because he's your peeps. So I figured...
He's not my peeps. No.
So, you're a stockbroker, he's an accountant, tomato.
Not the same thing. We're adding Wolf of Wall Street. I swear to God, we need to break this trope that you have in your mind, this broad sweeping generalization of finance people being boring.
Well, after 4:15, it's party time!
No.
That's what he said. I thought that was...
He's an accountant.
He's going to raise the roof.
He did the creepiest thing he could have possibly done.
Well, right. He ordered martinis.
2 apple martinis when Vince Vaughn says, oh yeah, apple martinis. Just make sure it's 2 of them.
Well, no, he said 2 of them.
Otherwise, you're a babysitter.
Right. So, I'm hoping that Creepy Man didn't know that was her ex-boyfriend that she had just broken up with, because that makes it about 20 times creepier. I'm really hoping he just thought it was a roommate.
Regardless, it's super creepy.
Oh, it's super creepy, and I'm so glad that she used that whole fake phone call thing to get out of it. But, I thought you were going to relate to him, with your affinity, but...
No, come on. That's...
I was hoping.
No.
Okay, so...
Under zero circumstances.
So, Man 2, though, was decent. He's been in other things before. He looks very familiar.
He's been on TV and a couple other things, yes. Now, he...
was a man-child.
Was a man-child that decided to play video games instead of going on a date with Jennifer Aniston, which I, for the life of me, won't understand, but... Well, Madden is not good in the first place. I can't imagine it being better than a date.
What if he was playing with Tom Brady as a quarterback? Would that be...
You gotta let that go.
Well, you said Madden, so
Well, they were playing Madden.
Okay, so if Tom Brady's a quarterback or Jennifer Aniston on a date, it's not a hard choice?
No, it's video game Tom Brady versus actual Jennifer Aniston is not a choice at all.
Oh, okay, so I needed to get the real one there. I got it, no, I understand. Understood.
No, video games are not better than a date with an actual woman. Come on.
Oh, it sounds like you spent a lot of time without dates.
Thank you, Doug.
You're so welcome. You opened yourself up for that.
Yeah. All right. So then what happens after that? He blows her off at the concert.
Right. Oh, this is my favorite part of the movie because she goes to a concert and asks him to go, and he agrees to go. This is after they've been broken up for a little while. It's kind of her last effort to be like, hey, I kind of want to see if we can fix this thing. He decides to go to a bar instead of meet her, and she's by herself the whole time. So during this part of the movie, I decided to ask you what you would do in a situation like this, and I said, let's make it more dramatic and say that somebody close to you died, like a mother or a family member or something like that. Would you leave me at a concert or some other place without texting me? And your response...
I didn't say that I would. I said, and let me preface this very carefully, I said there is more understanding if I were to forget if someone were to have died,
No.
rather than him just going to a bar and
No.
not bothering to call her.
So while I can understand that going to a bar is much crappier,
I still don't think I'm in the wrong in this, despite your family's input. I think we should put it up to our listeners, our loyal few listeners.
Sure, we'll put it to our listeners. So if your significant other leaves you alone at said a concert or some other event,
out at a undisclosed location,
right, and doesn't take the time to let you know where they are because a family member such as a mother, brother, somebody really close to them dies, would you be understanding the fact that they got caught up in the moment and could not?
Would you never let them hear the end of it until they
right, or would you be extremely annoyed that they forgot about your existence and didn't have the decency to tell you that something tragic like that happened, so you would be able to be there for them instead of stuck at a concert? So we'll leave it to you guys to decide what.
Yes. The majority of the movie, they were both terrible at communicating.
Oh, yes. By far. Terrible at communicating.
He was just a bad listener in general and self-absorbed, and you know that because he said, "I am the talent" to his brother.
Right, he was a terrible communicator in person to everybody, not just her.
I mean, he's the consummate schmoozer. He'll talk you up, but there's no substance there, and then you wind up doing whatever he wants to do, regardless of your own feelings, because it's easier than arguing with him until he finally gets his way like a 2-year-old anyway. Right,
and she seems to be more of a giver, so It was a very tough thing. But I did appreciate that towards the end of the movie, they did redeem him in some ways by...
A little bit.
This is the third time I've heard you say a little bit, and I just don't quite understand because you thought Captain Friendzone from Last of the Mohicans redeemed himself.
He died for their sins like Jesus.
He died for them, yes, but after saying 10 minutes prior in the boat that he would hang the man who just saved the girl he loved. Like, I just feel like...
Yes, but he literally died to protect them.
So if Vince Vaughn, died saving her from a fire in the condo, he'd redeemed himself?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No. The movie set this up so that he would be shown to redeem himself because he not only redeemed himself by what he said, but he also redeemed himself with other people, like doing the travel logs for his brother.
Well, I think that's because it all goes back to his friend who was a White Sox fan that just crushed him at the bar. With
Best friend ever, honestly.
Oh, God. That's what friends do for one another. They'll talk about killing a fake boyfriend for 20 minutes being joking about it, and you're like, I don't know if they're serious. Are they actually going to do this?
Right. He was a great friend, though. But yes, he told him basically how it was.
Just cuts him down to the bone because he's been his friend and he knows everything. And no one...
That was supposed to be the aha moment of the movie.
It was. It was definitely his aha moment. It was the eureka moment.
Right.
For him, yes.
But anyway, we do need to see the alternate ending, which after doing this 3 times, we should have probably watched it by now. But apparently in the alternate ending, they have a little bit more solid do they, don't they get back together. So I find that really interesting.
What else is there? He makes a dinner at the end of the movie. You're gonna murder me. We have to watch the alternate ending, you're right. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Thank you.
He makes dinner for them, and then Tom Brady comes back over.
Oh, that's why you cut me off. You needed to talk about Tom Brady. You were like, come on, I got to get one more Tom Brady reference in there. Come on.
And he had made dinner, and he missed a golden opportunity to put 12 lemons in a vase on the table. It would have been wonderful.
He missed a golden opportunity to have her throw them at his head, which is what I want to do right now to you.
Thank God we don't have any lemons.
Actually, we do. We have 3 lemons in the fridge, actually.
It's a good number. Then they're packing up the stuff from the condo, which is gorgeous, by the way. I want to live in their condo.
I do too.
It was fantastic.
It's gorgeous.
Perfect. It was wonderful. It belongs in its own separate cozy place. It just looked homey and inviting and with nothing in them. It just looked nice.
It did.
I sleep on the floor.
I think the friend's place was better, but we don't have time to get into that, so we will table that for another time.
Then I think that's it.
That's basically the end.
That's the end of the movie. They don't get back together. They bump into each other on the sidewalk, and
And it's open for maybe they will, maybe we'll see.
Well,
but so, what did you think overall of the movie?
Say 6.5, 7, maybe.
Is the number dropping or
6.5? I would say 6.5.
Okay, I would say 8 just because I really like this movie and
what's one of your favorites? I know.
It's not one of my favorites, but it's one that I really do like.
Okay.
So next week?
Next week, yes, Big Short. Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt, bunch of people in this movie. It's going to be fantastic about the 2008 housing financial crisis.
So boring finance men all get together on the big screen.
It's not boring finance men. It's they're having their own aha moment and capitalizing on other people's stupidity.
Okay, well, I just can't wait. So another movie that you've seen that I haven't.
Yes.
So there's
We're
that.
making a pattern of that because you need to be
educated on
brought
movies.
up on certain movies, yes.
Well, okay. So, all right. So I wanted to end the podcast with giving a few shout-outs, which the first one would be to Steve Hutchinson from Tales of Terror for the awesome review he left for us, and also for helping us out as we're starting to learn best ways to promote the podcast. And also Rachel St. Pierre for the logo, and Jake at Athos Music for our intro and outro music. So we are looking forward to Big Short next week.